chief guest of this morning, our mentor, our legend, the well-wisher of Indian agriculture, Dr. R.S. Paroda ji, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, the stalwarts of the horticulture, students, ladies, gentlemen, our guests from abroad, and friends from media. First of all, let me sincerely thank the Indian Academy of Horticulture Sciences and also University of Horticulture Sciences and ICAR, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, for providing me this opportunity to be here to learn something on horticulture. I also would like to congratulate the organizers for bringing everyone together under one roof. The people who matters for horticulture. And also would like to congratulate all the recipients of the awards. Congratulations. And also the people who have contributed to the science. We have seen two varieties. And one of the variety, I was told, is one of the world's best mutant variety. So congratulations. I also would like to congratulate you all for the growth of horticulture sector in India. You all have worked.
Good point.
And we have seen over past 1 decade the way horticulture sector is growing. But I think we have to go a long way. We have achieved so much in agriculture in the country which we can cherish and we can take all the pride. But the challenges are growing. We have still 50% women malnourished. So it's not the quantity, it's the quality which matters. And I think when we talk about the quality, we talk about the nutrition. The horticulture has to play a very, very, very important role for the nutrition. So when we talk about horticulture, we should think always about nutrition and health. Health of the people, but also the health of the planet. And I think horticulture has a potential to contribute both the health of the people and health of the planet. At the same time, providing additional income opportunities to our farmers. But I think we really need to make a transition. Transition more particularly from the perspective of silos. We cannot progress as long as we are in silos. Potato, pomegranate, grape, rice, wheat. This is not going to take us where we want to reach. So we have to break these silos. That means we need a system, a systems approach. Because every farmer got a system. Our silos may not fit into their streams. So we need to make that transition from the silos to the system for sustainability and synergies with the community. That's the new norm. And that need business unusual. Business as usual is not going to help us. We are not in 60s and 70s when we brought the new varieties, created the infrastructure on water, fertilizers, and we got a green revolution. We are in a new era. And we have to confront with the emerging global mega trends. And I'm not going to elaborate what are those global mega trends. You all know about it. Biodiversity, climate change, soil health, economic shifts and all those. And that's what we have to deal. More particularly when we talk about the global economic shifts, we have seen recently the trade war. So it's just not the production, it's the entire value chain which matters. With the production-centric approach, we cannot help farmers. The value chain matters. And I think there is a significant scope to work on the entire value chain. When we talk about the agri-food system, that agri-food system includes entire value chain. Now we can assess how much of that agri-food system we are working on and how much we are missing. We are largely the production-focused system. And production is not a problem. Problem is before production and after production. When we talk about horticulture, we are dealing with the perishability. We are dealing with the shelf-life. So there are two ways. Either we have the breakthroughs in terms of the shelf-life, or we go on the processing, so that farmer is protected from a market crash. So I think this is one area which we need to focus. Also from the perspective of the resilience to the climatic risks, the climate crisis. We need a strong focus on climate action. Still we are on the lip services. And when we talk about climate action, this needs a comprehensive plan. Again, a very system-focused plan. And horticulture, from the perspective of the ecosystem services, from the perspective of the carbon sequestration, I think can play a major role in climate action. Also from the perspective of the biodiversity. We have to think from that perspective. And I think our focus should be, as I mentioned, nutrition. And over past few weeks, I myself been discussing with the Director General of the Indian Council of Medical Research for a joint program between ICAR and ICMR, an agriculture nutrition research program. And we are advancing very fast. We're going to have another meeting on 11th between the two teams. We can't afford. We've been working, we talk about nutrition, but how many nutrition specialists we have? There is a dedicated institute on, National Institute on Nutrition with ICMR. And they are generous. They have committed for all the clinical trials of whatever biofortified crops varieties we talk about. We haven't done that yet. And DG of the ICMR have committed, will make investment and do this. So I think we truly need to make a very, very strong and robust program on nutrition. On 3rd of this month, when Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the ASTIC 2025, for us he gave 3 mandates from the agriculture side, because there were 12 departments and ministries involved in that, all the science-based ministries. But from the agriculture perspective, we again focused on the biofortified crops and varieties. He focused on harnessing the agrobiodiversity. He focused on soil health and biologicals, including biofertilizers. And I think there is an ample opportunity in horticulture for harnessing the biodiversity. The traditional crops, what was mentioned, not underutilized, but the opportunity crops, which are nutrient dense, which are part of the local food. And I think strengthening local food system is a must if we really talk about nutrition and health. If we really talk about building resilience. And if we really talk about climate action. I think over time, many of us entered into a glamorous world. The glamorous crops and forgotten the base. I think we have to work on the base. Value chain market is something very, very important for agriculture, but more particularly from the horticulture perspective. Now we have to see how much we work on those aspects. We may have people working here and there, but that's not sufficient. But it doesn't mean that we don't have people. We have people, but they are working in isolation. They are working in silos. Repeating it, we have to break these silos. We have to develop a community of practice. We have 20 scientists on one aspect, but they are at 20 places. It's a virtual world. Can't we connect them so that they can work together and focus and bring the synergies and complementarity to do better, to deliver better? I think when we talk about horticulture and from that perspective agriculture, the seed and planting material is important, but from the horticulture perspective is more important. I have seen people planted date palm in Rajasthan, and after 4 years they realize it's a male or female or ornamental, and they are invested. And farmer is lost. The quality planting material is something very, very important. And I think we have to do more and do better. Now that doesn't mean we, the public sector institutions, can do that. We have to see the comparative advantage. There are n number of players. We have to strengthen them. We have to support them. Bring the synergies between the public and private. I think that's what is really needed from all perspectives. So we have to make a matrix. Where we want to reach, what is all required to reach there, what we have, and where is that, and what we are missing, and where from we can have that. Then only we can reach where we want to reach. Otherwise, we will be lost in between. And I think that's not an option. So we have to bring that greater synergy from that perspective. And I see, some of the private sector institutions are collaborating and sponsoring awards, but that's one part. I think from the research perspective also, we have to see. And we have to see in totality, from discovery to delivery. Sometimes we are lost, we are very much focused on the discovery, and we are not focusing on delivery. And there is a disconnect. So we have to connect. So we have to have a continuum of discovery to delivery. And delivery is not that easy. It's knowledge intensive. We've been talking about new technologies, digital, data-driven, artificial intelligence. But I think we have to deep dive, talk about deep tech. We have to deep dive. We are on the surface. And that surface is really not going to help because the problem is deep-rooted.
Deep-rooted. Yes, super.
And if our action is on the surface, it's not going to help us. So we have to work on that. I think everything got its domain. And our problem is silver bullet. Everything goes everywhere. But that's not the reality. So targeting is something very, very important. What works where and how. We have to define the domain of a crop, of a system, of a technology. So technology targeting is something very, very important. And I have seen the government of Rajasthan introduced olive. And after so many years, they realize there is no fruiting. That's a wrong way of targeting them. I'm just citing example. I'm citing examples from Rajasthan because I can blame. I come from there. So targeting of the technology is something very, very important. And define the domain. Once we define the domain, that will connect to the market because you can see the volume. And market comes with the volume. Volume is important. If you are producing in few hundred hectares, you may not have the market. But if you have larger domain, you can have. So I think from that perspective also, the recommendation domain is something very, very important. I think we have some specific niche in horticulture, and we have to do more. Seed spices. Yes. That's the perfect domain. We are exporting, but we can do better. Still long way to go in terms of the value chain and market. So we have to have a focus. I've been discussing with the director of the seed spices to do, and Dr. S.K. we have to think about. Still the horticulture export is not that level, but there is a significant potential to increase the horticulture export. The medicinal and aromatic plants, the director here. Yeah. The whole Ayush ministry is dependent on us. But Baba Ramdev alone is doing wonders. So I think we have to show our value proposition, not the research for the sake of research. But that research should connect to the lives of the people, the farmers. The routine things are not going to help us. So we have to work. We discussed, I hope you are working on the white paper, and then we connect with the Ayush ministry. There is tremendous potential for medicinal and aromatic plants. floriculture. And we are in the heartland of the floriculture. I think there is a tremendous potential. So we have to define again where are the opportunities. Northeastern region of the country got huge potential for horticulture. Yes. How much we have tapped and how much to go yet, we have to prioritize. And prioritization is the name of the game. We have 100 things to do, but we can't afford to do. And we will not have resources to do. Now we have to prioritize. Our problem is we keep adding new things and don't delete the older ones. We have to learn the art of taking some of those away and bring the new ones. From the perspective of all those, the Government of India, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Ministry of Agriculture have launched recently quite a few new programs. The Clean Plant Program Centers of Excellence at 9 locations. I think that's going to give us a strong foundation towards the quality, healthy, disease-free seed and planting material. And there are other programs, and I would like to sincerely thank Dr. Barodaji for some of those. The mission on high-yielding seeds that includes horticulture as well, which was just launched, provides us an opportunity to boost the high-yielding seeds. And horticulture is inclusive. The another one is we take pride, our country have announced the second gene bank, which is going to be the Asia's its kind gene bank, which includes horticulture. And that is going to give us a boost in terms of harnessing the biodiversity, the rich biodiversity what we have in the country. I think we also need to move beyond our own subject and disciplinary domains. And we talk about integrated farming system. Now from a discipline perspective that sits into natural resource management division. But that got horticulture, that got animal husbandry, that got all those aspects. And I think we have to fit our products into integrated farming system because farmer got a system. So we have to bring that synergy together. And we are going to have another study with ICAR, the integrated farming system, households' nutritional profile and their health versus those who are just monotonous crops, which will help us in terms of integrated farming system, not only for the resilience to the climatic risk and also the income, but also from a larger perspective of the health and nutrition. And I think horticulture, if you can suggest what kind of variety fits well into the integrated farming system across the country, and you have hundreds of those living labs. We talk about the living labs. One is our static lab, other is a living lab right there in the farmers. I think those are the labs, and we have to create more of those because the right learning is coming from there. Yes. We can learn a lot from the farmer and integrate in our research design. I think peri-urban horticulture is emerging rapidly, urban and peri-urban both. And we have to have a focus, emphasis on that part. But food safety is something very, very important. We have to strengthen the research on food safety. We have made spectacular progress in terms of the protected horticulture. But there are issues. Because we started some 30 years back. I see when we had the Indo-Israel Center at ICAR. But I think there are challenges, and I hear from the farmers issues of the nematodes and other things, so we truly need to deep dive into that. And I think we have 30 years of the data. Using the 30 years of the data, we can project for next 30 years. So we should be making use of the data. This is a data-driven era. The issue is data is also sitting in silos. They are not accessible, they are not interoperable. And ICAR have launched its data policy. So we are trying to do our best, but I think we have to collate our data. Data is new money. The medical sciences have made significant progress using the data and artificial intelligence in terms of the disease diagnosis and prescriptions, and we are far away. I think that's another aspect where we really need to focus on. And from all those perspectives, we need, the government of India is talking on the whole of government approach. Now in agriculture, we talk about whole of system approach and whole of society approach. And I think until we think of the whole of system and whole of society, we will be lost. And we don't want to be lost. So we have to think around the whole of system and whole of society, around our research from discovery to delivery. So horticulture not in isolation, and agronomy not in isolation, and crop science is not in isolation. I think we all need to work together and contribute. If we don't do that, the goals of Viksit Bharat by 2047 is a challenging task. Agriculture has to contribute significantly. But in agriculture, we have to think about business unusual, because business as usual is not going to take us there. These are some of my thought processes to consider. I was not determined to be here until yesterday afternoon. But then I thought of, there are 1,000 people coming together. Maybe I can be a beneficiary in terms of providing me some action points. The action points which can be translated. So I'm requesting the organizers to come up with those action points, not 100 points, not 50 pages, 5 action points. The big picture, not small. So that we can make use of those and integrate it in our programs and portfolio. I also would like to sincerely acknowledge the contributions of Chadda family for starting this award on the name of the great visionary scientist who revolutionized horticulture in India. So with this, thank you so much. Wish you all the very best. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful, scientific and cognitive presidential address, and a special gratitude for your constant guidance and leadership in heading the ICAR family to meet the needs of the end users. Thank you so much, sir. We are truly honored to have your gracious presence at IHC 2025 inaugural session. Thank you for your presence and your words. Thank you. Now,